The reason as to why you stopped athletics, like, do you want to go into that? Because obviously, like, there were some high highs, and obviously, like I said, I've known you for a while. Didn't know like you were fastest in the country at certain things,
Yeah.
etc. What was like somewhat the stumbling block for you?
So like when I was like really smashing it, I was just going really well with athletics. Everything was going good. I just had loads of issues, and I never knew what these issues were. Just kind of like health issues going on. Later on, I found out that it was Crohn's disease.
Mm-hmm.
So I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease years later, but it just like messed up my athletics like a lot because I couldn't train, I couldn't compete. When I'd have like big competitions, I'd have like certain things wrong with me, so I'd have to like go to hospital and get like checked out. But the doctors had no idea what was wrong with me at that time, so they just kept kind of brushing it off.
How old were you then? Like when, say, you missed your first big meet or big race that you, if you can remember.
So I was supposed to go to English schools when I was young. I can't remember. I must have been about 14, 13 or something like that. I can't really remember. But I was supposed to go to English schools then. But yeah, something happened to me and I just couldn't. I was like riddled with, I had like abscesses in my body, ulcers just all inside, and it was mad. It was horrible to describe. But yeah, so that was that, and so I couldn't compete because I was just in like a lot of pain and stuff. Had no idea what that was. Time passed, and then I just got back into my athletics, and I'm getting better again, getting back to the swing of things, and then I'd get ill again. My immune system would just crash. I'd have like mad stomach pains, crippling stomach pains. Didn't know what it was, so then I couldn't compete anymore. I couldn't train, so again taking time off and then getting back into it. It was like always stop start. That's what it got to. It got to a point with my athletics. It was just stop starting, and it was just really flipping frustrating. But then eventually, when I was, I must have been about 15. No, I must have been about 16, 17. 17. That's when I got diagnosed with Crohn's disease.
Okay.
I got rushed to hospital. Just mad pain. I got rushed to hospital, and they assumed it was my appendix.
What, like that it burst?
Yeah, so they assumed my appendix burst. So now they've got me on the trolley, pushing me into the theatre to take my appendix out. So I'm just there lying, and I'm in the theatre now. And then I have a doctor come running down the corridor, burst in and say, "Wait, take him back to the ward. It's not his appendix." So then I'm there thinking, the fuck is going on? Like, you're taking a piss. And anyway, they wheel me back to the ward now, and they tell me that, yeah, it's not your appendix, you've got Crohn's disease. So then I'm like, so you was about to rip my appendix out for no flipping reason.
Good.
Like, it's mad. But anyway, yeah, so that's how I got diagnosed. And then still didn't know much about it, about Crohn's disease. Completely.
Had you heard of it then?
I'd never heard about Crohn's disease. Most people that like get diagnosed or have been diagnosed with Crohn's disease, most people that I've spoken to anyway, they didn't know much about it anyway, prior to that. So I was in the same boat. So yeah, doctors just said, you know, as doctors do, you're fine, just take these medications and you'll be fine. So as you do, listen to your doctor, you do that. So I thought I'd just take these pills and just carry on the way I was living, the way I was eating, drinking, and I'd be fine. But yeah, that wasn't the case, man. It just progressively, year after year after year, just got worse and worse and worse, man. And I kept going back into hospital, having certain procedures. Yeah, I like lost so much weight at so many different points of my life. It was mad. Like, I can go back at pictures now and I'm just a flipping skeleton in some baggy tracksuit, bro.
Yeah.
More time, it's mad. But yeah. And then it got to a point, I must have been about, it was 2015 now. So years have gone on now. It's 2015. That's when my bowel burst.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, burst. It was mad. Worst pain I've ever felt in my life.
Open up.
Yeah, it was excruciating. So I'm in bed, I was trying to get to sleep. I couldn't sleep at all. I'm just in pain. I'm tossing, I'm turning, I'm just crying. But in my head, I'm thinking this is normal because I've been going through this for years. Even like on the medications that I've been on for years. Like I go through periods where I'm just in excruciating pain from my stomach. But like my bowel was like swollen. Like I had a big lump in my stomach, and I was like used to it. I'd get used to having a big bulging lump in my stomach, and I'd always push it down, and and I'd be trying to hold it, and I'd lie on it, and I'd grab pillows and just trying to suppress it. But as I said, that was normal because I'd just go through it, and then this one particular night, it just got so bad, and it must have been about it was about 5 a.m. and I had work at about 7. And I called my work and I said, listen, I can't come into work today. I'm in excruciating pain. They didn't believe me. They thought I was chatting rubbish. But yeah, and then it got to about 7 o'clock now in the morning, and I'm screaming. And then I still lived at home with my mum at the time, and I'm just screaming out to my mum, like, Mom. And I'm crying my eyes out. It was mad. Like before that, I hadn't cried in flipping ages. But yeah, and then anyway, so ambulance came. They took me in. They gave me the gas in there, and I got rushed into had an emergency operation. They told me that my bowel perforated, burst open, then all the kind of like the stomach acid and that was leaking around everywhere. So you know that stomach acid can be like really quite corrosive. So yeah, so that was just messing me up. So I had an emergency operation, and then they ended up removing a big chunk of my bowel, and then they kind of like stitched both ends back together. So it's mad. So I've got like a massive scar from top of my stomach to the bottom. And then I was in hospital for 2-3 months straight. Just straight. I was just tubed up. Wasn't able to eat anything, drink anything. It was mad. Horrible experience, man. It's a horrible experience. I even had to like learn to walk again because I was bedbound for so many months.
Jeez.
I couldn't walk. It's like my legs forgot how to move. So it was mad. So I'm there with a flipping Zimmer frame, trying to walk again. And then I got let out of hospital. And then whilst I was in hospital, I started like looking into certain things and diet, and like I really started to delve into like Crohn's disease now. Even though I'd been living with it for so many years beforehand, I was just doing whatever the doctors told me, taking the medication and living my life as I was normally. But now I'm looking into things. What can I do differently? So, and then so I'm back home now. And then literally a few weeks later, whilst I'm at home, I had to go back into hospital again. I had to have another operation because again, I had excruciating pain in my stomach again. So I had to have another operation to kind of fix the other one. It was mad. Yeah. So I had 2 back-to-back. So I was in hospital for like 3 months straight from the first initial operation when my bowel perforated. I came out of hospital for maybe a month, if that. It was probably like maybe 3 weeks or something. And then I had to go back in, and then I was in hospital for another maybe 2-3 months again for that second operation. And then it was mad. And then after going through it a second time, having to have another operation, the same sort of operation, I came out and I was like, nah, something's got to change, man. Like this is horrible. I don't want to live my life like this. Like it was mad, and it just like Joe knows, man. I was always that confident guy, man, like loud, outgoing guy. But that just knocked me, man. I lost so much weight. Naturally, I was about 77 kilos. I went down to 54 kilograms at my lowest. Imagine. Yeah. And I was nothing. I couldn't remember. I couldn't look at myself. It was mad. It was horrible. So yeah, man, so something had to change, bro. And that's when I just looked into different side of things. Like, how can I manage this differently? Because what I'm doing is not working. What the doctors have been telling me to do for all these years is clearly not working. Yeah. And they just keep putting me on stronger medications. Okay, that medication's not working. We'll put you on this medication. that medication's not working. I've been through an untold amount of medication, man. It's crazy. And my last medication they put me on was like a cancer treatment medication. And even when they told me, I was like, damn, you're putting me on a medication specifically for cancer. Like, shit. And then whilst I was reading like the side effects, it said long-term use of this medication could lead to cancer. So I'm thinking, this is just insane, bro. What the hell?
Yeah.
So then I was on that for like quite a while, man, a few years. And I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore, man. I kept looking back at this leaflet of this medication, and I just kept seeing like side effects that could potentially be, even though it's supposed to be helping me. I'm saying there's a bag of side effects. I'm thinking, I don't want to be on these mad pills for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I just made a big change. I changed my diet, changed my lifestyle. I changed like my eating habits, how I eat, when I eat. Essentially, I stopped listening to the doctors.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, it was a long journey, man. A lot of trial and error, figuring out what I can eat, what I can't eat.
What your body responds to. And
what my body responds to, what it does like, what it doesn't
you
like.
basically done those, a form of an allergy test. You done it yourself in terms of what you take in and stuff like that.
So I did like an elimination diet. So when I came out of hospital for the second time, I was on a liquid-only diet for 6 months. It's mad. I was just drinking these cartons of drinks for like 6 months straight. No food, nothing, just these cartons of drinks.
You know, it's funny because I can actually picture you doing it because I've seen you literally just squeezing carton like a little kid. It's like that.
It's mad.
Around,
it's mad.
But
it's
it became
mad.
like we got used to it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, man, just rolling around with these cartons.
Literally,
it's mad.
I used to bury your car.
Packed up in my car.
Yeah,
I'd go to the pharmacy like I'm just picking up like I just linked the plug.
Yeah, no,
mad, bro. Like, I've just got these crates of these cartons of juices that just in the boot of my car, so I've always got them on deck.
There were specific juices, weren't they?
Specific, yeah, they were specific. They were called Elemental EO28. That's what they were called. They were specific for like people with dietary needs. But anyway, I was on that for 6 months, and the aim of that was to achieve remission, to like get rid of all my symptoms.
Okay.
And even whilst I was on that, I was thinking there must be some sort of correlation here, because all that they're really doing, there's nothing in these drinks that's some magic medication or pill or anything. All it's doing is giving my bowel rest. That's all that was happening. It's giving my bowel the time that it needs to rest and heal. So then I'm thinking like, it's
good short term, but long term.
Yeah. But like that's what I just continued that, and I just kind of transferred it onto kind of what I'm doing now, and what's helped me do it now. So I've been off medication now for over a year now, and yeah, I feel as best that I've ever been, man. Like even when I was on medication for so many years, right now I feel good, man, and that's doing it without the doctors. And and it was mad because like I got my bloods done the other day. I got my bloods done. I got all my tests done. I had colonoscopy. I had a stool test sample done, because I just wanted to see what I've been doing for the past year and a half. Like, it's all good me feeling good and feeling healthy, but I wanted to like see what are the tests saying, like what's really going on. I got my results back, bro. Nothing, everything clear. It was mad. Like my tests, my bloods, all perfect, all normal. My stool test, all normal. No signs of disease, inflammation, anything. My colonoscopy, my bowels are completely clear. Nothing wrong with them. So then I'm just, bro, like, it was mad. Like, I got my results and I just flipping celebrated. Like, it was mad. Like, I'm in my front room and I'm just gassed. Like, I'm just gassed. I was with my missus and I'm like, yo, like, this is mad.
Just like when your son was born. Yeah!
Literally. I'm like, hey, you see, that's my go-to, isn't it? I was just like, ah. Yeah, I was gassed, bro. Because it's like, this shit is real, man. Like, change your life, bro. Change your lifestyle. Change if you're doing the same thing over and over again, bro.
You can't expect different results.
You can't expect different results.
Yeah.
You got to change something, and that's what I did. And yeah, man, I'm gassed, bro.
What was the major change in the diet then? What was the point where you said, okay, cool, these are the things that work? Well, now you know. What are the things that do work?
So initially, when I started changing my diet, it was a mad long process. So like people think it's a quick thing, and with Crohn's disease, it's 100% related to what you're putting in your body.
Okay.
Like some people say, oh, it's not, it's just genetics, it's this and that. Yeah, cool, it very well might be, and for another of numerous reasons, but what you're putting into your body does play a major part of it. But it's very, very individual to each individual. So if we've all got Crohn's disease in this room, I might be able to eat something that you guys might not be able to, and vice versa. You know what I'm saying? So, but there are like a general kind of foods to stay away from if you've got Crohn's disease. So I started off with like an elimination diet. So I literally, that's when I was on my liquid only diet.
Mm-hmm.
And then once I was finished with that, I started reintroducing foods like every 2 weeks. So I'd have one new food and I'd eat that straight for 2 weeks.
For 2 weeks, okay.
Okay.
Whilst I'm still drinking my drinks.
Right.
So, for example, for argument's sake, like broccoli, for argument's sake, I was eating that for 2 weeks straight. And then I had a diary that I'd always have. How am I feeling? What's my stool like when I'm going to the toilet? What's the consistency like? Do I have any symptoms? How am I sleeping? Like, what's my energy levels? Like, I'm writing all of these down in my diary. And then, like, if I feel good, then I know, okay, broccoli, tick, I can have that. Then the next week I might have chicken, for example, and then I'd go through these same steps. I'd have it for 2 weeks straight, and I'd see what do I like, what does my body like, and what can't I have. But when I'm eating these as well, it's not like everything is plain.
No seasoning.
Plain, bro. No season, because the seasonings you gotta add those in one by one.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, how long did it take for you to do process of elimination?
Years, bro.
Jeez.
Years, yeah, good few years.
So you're adding all-purpose seasoning maybe for a month or a 2 week period.
Yeah,
and then
but
seeing if it
all
works.
purposes are madness though, because
got everything.
all purposes
Yeah.
got everything in there. You
Yeah.
need to
For us, we're like,
I
kill
had
10
to
birds
do
in one
every
stone.
every ingredient in that all-purpose seasoning to see what I can have and what I can't have. It was mad. It was mad. But the most important thing was that diary, and I've still got it to this day. It's at my mom's house, and it shows me everything, how I felt, how frequently I was going to the toilet, and all these different types of things, man.
So
But
you can remember like every single food you noted down in the diary, how it affected you and stuff like that.
Yeah. So initially it was like, and I was never a big fan of like red meats or anything like that. But red meats, if you got like Crohn's disease, like stay away from that anyway. But so I always stayed away from that. But then I introduced like chicken, and I was okay with it. Certain like raw vegetables I couldn't eat because like it was really, really tough for my body my bowels to break it down. So I needed to eat foods that would just like slide through my bowels, basically, just kind of go in and out. But at the same time, enough nutrients for my body to absorb all the goodness. So yeah, I got to a point where I kind of knew exactly like what I can have and what I can't have. Like raw veg was a no. I had to at least like steam it so I could soften it and eat it. Like any pulses, like beans or anything like that, I couldn't have. Nuts, I couldn't have. Bananas. The second time I had my operation, the last thing I ate was a banana, and then that's when I just clogged me up, man.
That one you could remember then and there.
Yeah. So that one. So even to this day, I only started eating bananas like very, very recently, because I've always been, even though I've been healthy and I've been fine, and I've all the things like most of the things that I couldn't eat before. Now I'm at a point where I've started to reintroduce them, and now my body's accepting them.
Okay.
Because like it's healed enough to accept these kind of foods as well. But yeah, so I kind of stayed away from that. But also what I found, I was still feeling like really like shit, and my bowels were still not at a place where I wanted to be. So I just thought, you know what, I just took a dive. I started reading into it a lot of like holistic health. But this whole time I'm still drinking my little drinks, I'm still taking my medication as planned. And then I just like jumped straight into like plant based, and I just went straight plant based, and then that was like the turning point for me, man. But even though, because I've said about the raw vegetables, I still couldn't have like the raw foods, so I'd have to like soften it, cook it. But once I cut out like meat, dairy was a major one for me. Messed me up. Once I cut all of that out for me personally, it just changed my life, man. My symptoms gone, everything gone, and I got to a stage where I'm still taking my medication, but I got to the stage where I'm like, you know what, I feel like I want to come off this now, and I feel like I'm at a stage where I can come off this now. So I was contacting my gastroenterologist team. It was a madness trying to get in contact with them. I couldn't get an appointment. They just weren't. They were just kind of logging me off. I was calling the helpline, talking to the nurses. I wanted to like have a review on my medication. I couldn't get through to them, so yeah, I just took it into my own hands and I just stopped taking my meds, bro.
Was that like during COVID and everything? Do you think that if it was playing a part, etc., or is there a reason?
Yeah, I think COVID probably played a part in it. Definitely, because everything just slowed down with COVID, and even after COVID, they were all playing catch up. So yeah, it definitely played a part in it. But yeah, I just took it into my own hands. I threw my meds in the bin, and I said, I'm not doing this anymore.
Right.
I took it into my own hands, and yeah, man.
So natural kind of remedies have worked.
Natural remedies. I wouldn't even say the natural remedies. I'd just say just managing what you're putting into your body, knowing your body, what your body can and can't have.
And definitely the natural remedy. He used to talk about alkaline bear, but I'm like, fuck's sake.
No.
Like this food, the alkaline levels ain't correct. I'll be like, yes, sir.
No, that honestly, big you up for mentioning that. Because the alkaline thing did help me. I feel like that is big you up for mentioning that, because I would have missed that out. Yeah, because I used to rave on about alkaline. Even chat to my son right now, like he'd be like, oh, daddy, that's not alkaline, or this is alkaline, or blah, 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 alkaline. So, yeah. I'm not so heavy on the alkaline now.
Nah, I ain't heard it for a few months.
I'm not so heavy on it now, but that, I went alkaline, plant-based, because everyone thinks, oh, plant-based is good, being vegan is good. Bullshit. You can be vegan and be eating a shit diet, man.
Right.
You can be plant-based eating a shit diet. So I just went alkaline, everything natural. Whatever grows from the ground naturally. Yeah, man. If it can't be found grown in the wild, then don't eat it. Okay. Because there's a lot of like hybrid foods and all of that stuff, which is just a whole different topic, man. But hybrid food, natural foods, organic foods, yeah. But yeah, I just stuck with the alkaline. That helped me, man. And then now I wouldn't say I'm alkaline. I wouldn't really put a label on myself. I don't like to put a label on myself. I just eat what I can, but it's still like plant-based. It's whole food, plant-based, like no really processed stuff. You know, it's like anyone though. Limit the amount of processed foods you're having, man. You're putting into your system.
Was it for your birthday last year when you took us to a vegan restaurant?
Yeah.
What I got, my order was actually very nice.
Bro, I got grilled.
He said it, and bro, I said,
bro, the man them are idiots, bro. Like, they grilled, man. Like even, yeah. So I took them to one vegan restaurant, in Soho. Mildred's, big up Mildred's. Yeah, so obviously I'm thinking, it's my birthday, I want to do something. I don't normally do things for my birthday as well.
Right.
I rarely ever do things. So I thought, you know what, I want to do something. Let me go out with Amanda and have a food. But obviously, I'm not eating meat or these certain foods or certain ingredients or anything like that. So I'm going to go to a place that caters for me. Like, I want to eat. And these like guys that don't have any like dietary requirements, they can eat whatever. So they can come to a vegan restaurant and eat food, you know what I'm saying? It's good, but they grilled, man. Certain man weren't even going to turn up. They said, I ain't getting to know. What? There's no meat, there's no this, there's no that. I'm like, bro, you taking a piss? Like, and it even like got to me at one stage. I'm like, nah, these men are taking a piss. So what? It's my birthday.
You don't want to come.
And you're not trying to come because what?
Food.
Yeah, and they say, no, but you could have gone to like you got to cater for your guests, innit?
No, you got to cater for yourself. It's your birthday.
What I'm saying, but they're telling me you got to cater for your guests. Go to a place where everyone can eat, blah, blah, blah. And obviously there'll be like a little vegan option that you can have. I'm thinking, why do I want to go out for my birthday and have a vegan option?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I went to Mildred's and that man grilled me. Even we had this big debate at the table as well, innit? We was all debating, but
How can you, man, cuss about?
No,
no, it was a joke. No, it was a joke. It was a
I'm
joke.
just talking about in
I think
general.
maybe come out Udo is good as well.
Yeah.
But man can't cuss about someone where they need to go for their birthday.
No, but them man were bantering because you know, like these vegan places, yeah. They try and I'm not. Is what it is, isn't it? But they lean on the meat food, yeah. But they just change it. Yeah. So the man them were bantering me like, what is this chick N? Because they missed out the E at the end. So it was just chick like with the apostrophe and the N.
No,
So
it was funny. So.
Yeah, they were just bannering, man. Like, man ain't eating no chick N. Like, what the hell, yeah.
And I remember exactly you said that.
yeah. You know who that was eating, probably watching this cracking up now.
That's what's this? Oh shit!
Yeah. And then you know it was two of them. They were going back to back, and they were just feeding off each other. I was thinking, these men are idiots.
Bro, it was a great comedy show. I was opposite but diagonal. I was just there. I think some rice, tofu, and something else, but mine was banging.
Yeah.
Because other people they tasted it and they were like, "Oh, we should have got your order or whatever."
Yeah. But even the tofu, though, touching on the tofu, I don't eat tofu myself because it's still like. It's processed ultimately. I try and just have no processed stuff, so that I'll just have like one ingredient foods. So everything I'm buying is like single ingredient foods, and I'm just cooking up and making a meal from loads of different single ingredient foods. You know what I'm saying?
My goodness.
Yeah.
So how long is the cooking process usually?
Bro, when you post your food, I'm thinking it must have taken you time to cook.
It's long, bro. And I was never a cooker before this. I had to learn how to cook, man. It was mad. Like, I was a shit cook. Even now, to this day, I'm not an amazing cook, but like I know how to cook what I eat. You know what I'm saying?
And what you're eating is your family eating the same thing as well. So
yeah.
they follow your regiment.
Yeah, pretty much.
So even if they wanted
Pretty
to,
much. Yeah, but my missus, if she's away from me, she's gonna you get me? She's gonna feast.
Cheap meals galore.
Yeah. She's gonna feast. But normally, yeah, in my household, yeah, man, we're just all eating the same thing, man.
Oh, okay, makes sense.
So my kids, they eat the same way. But I'm not like heavy on them. Like I'm not trying to drill it into them or anything like that. Because it is what it is. Like you got to make up your own decision ultimately. Like when they grow up. But for now, it's like we're eating the same. We're all cooking the same food. Let's just eat it. You know
But to be fair, like your son, he always wants to help you cook.
Yeah, my son's into it.
More or less.
My son's into it.
So
And
like,
they love it, man.
You'll
They
be like,
love
"Oh, what's this?" And he'll be like, "I'm pouring this." Just arguments. Sea moss into the blah blah blah.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. My kids, they eat sea moss like it's yogurt, man. They'll back in my daughter in the morning. Sea moss, sea moss. She can't even talk proper, but just screaming sea moss. You get me? Yeah, they love it. So even that side of it, just introducing those, because I had no idea about like sea moss and these other types of these foods that are just like packed with minerals that are really, really good for you. I had no idea. So introducing that to my kids from at a young age, now it's just their normal. It's just their norm, isn't it? Whereas me growing up, I was just having like this Western diet, which is just shit. So that was my norm. So yeah, that's all I knew. So it took me a long time to transition to the point that I'm at now and my like eating habits. And it's not just food as well. It's like fasting. I fast quite a lot.
Okay.
It's not like people could like put the fasting down to like weight loss and all of that stuff. Like that's bullshit. I ain't got time for that. That's not why I fast. I fast to simply allow my body the time that it needs to heal, essentially. Because I'm not an idiot. Like even though like the test results say that I'm kind of Crohn's free, I'm normal, like everything's fine. If I go back to eating the way I was eating before, like obviously, like
come back.
Something could flare up.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say like I've cured my Crohn's or anything like that. I'm not gonna throw out those mad claims, but like I'm managing it myself, and I'm managing it. I'm choosing to manage it naturally, and it's working.
No, that's good. To be fair, some of my friends fast to refresh their body. That's their reason.
It does. Because I say I fast not on purpose, just because sometimes I ain't got time to eat.
He's too busy, bro. Bro, there's times we'll be like, we'll actually banter, but in a serious way for about to pod. Have you eaten?
Yeah.
We'll be like, nah, didn't have time.
Yeah,
bro.
So, but I feel the benefits of like not eating sometimes. Like you honestly feel it in your body. You're like, okay, cool. I feel cleansed today. And then I need my one meal still. Yeah. But I feel like, I feel quite good in the way my body feels. And then when I eat too much, on the odd day, it's like, yeah, I shouldn't feel this way when I'm eating food.
Yeah, exactly.
So that's why finding the balance in the middle.
Yeah, it's because you got no balance.
Yeah, it's one of
It's about eat better or
don't eat. Yeah, it's one or the other.
Yeah, that's mad.
So trying to find the balance in the middle for me probably is the main type of thing. But I want to get into a structure in terms of knowing more what I'm putting in my body. I should have been in one because I've been an athlete my whole life. You get what I mean? But I think
you don't eat shit though. Like,
nah, but I think I've gotten away with eating what I wanted to eat
because
I'm always working out or burning out. Whereas now in the latter part of my career, I'm sitting there thinking, well, maybe I should change and I can prolong things.
Yeah.
The plant-based route, I don't know if I can do it. I've tried to do
certain things.
I could do the pescatarian thing because I like fish. And you, so as with your Crohn's, can you eat fish, or is it one of them?
No, see that all messes me up. So initially, when I first tried the vegan thing, I jumped in, couldn't do it. I lasted like a week, and I was like, "This is hard, man. I need something." So then, because obviously that's all I've known, especially like with our African mum, and she's just whipping up these mad meals. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, so then I had to incorporate the fish. So then I was like, "All right, cool." So I used to say I'm vegan, but I eat fish.
Right.
So like, I still wouldn't have the dairy. I wouldn't have like the eggs or anything like that. But I'd have fish. But then it got to a point where something wasn't right.
You weren't feeling.
I wasn't feeling good, man. And then everything else I'm eating good. But then I'm like, what is that one thing that's still making me feel shit? I'm still getting symptoms. So the fish side, and I cut out the fish. And then bro, felt good ever since. And I started like just going off it naturally anyway, so it wasn't like a big thing for me.
Right.
Yeah.
Is there anything? Sorry, no, go and finish.
No, I was gonna say you probably know what I'm getting. Don't get me wrong though. When I go around someone's yard and I see someone like whipping up some mad chicken dish, like fried chicken or some seasoned thing, I'm like, wait, I can still appreciate a good meal. You know what I'm saying?
You just
and I'm like, that smells good, that looks good. Like I'm reminiscing back then, but. Yeah, I got to do what I know works for me. You know what I'm saying? So I'm not saying like I'm not one of these vegan guys that push it on everyone and try to say, oh, you need to be vegan for this and that and blah blah blah. But for me personally, all I can speak about is my own experiences.
Right.
And from my own experience, the plant-based, whole food, plant-based, alkaline thing for me, that's worked, and that's got me to a place where I'm symptom-free. I've got no signs of Crohn's disease in my body.
Amen to that, bro. So it's funny you said like how when you used us as an example, if we all had it, how it would affect us. Because I was speaking to, I think from reposted one of your reels, which we'll put on Naturally Aligned. So follow his Instagram. Yes. And one of my colleagues, she's got Crohn's disease, but like. When I've spoke to you in the past in terms of what you eat compared to, like, there's a lot of things that she's cut out completely as well, but like the diet ain't really similar. So it's just when you said that part, it just resonated to me because when I reposted one of your reels, that's when me and her spoke about it. Like, but I didn't actually know until she saw your post and I think she messaged me about it or something.
And even with my Naturally Aligned page, I only started that at the start of this year. I'd already been on like. I'd already changed like my diet and my lifestyle and everything like that. But I thought, you know what, like I want to do something so I can, one, I'm documenting my journey, but two, I had no one when I was at my worst. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know anyone when I was at my worst that was going through the same sort of thing with me. So I thought, let me put my story out there. Let me journey what I'm going through and what has helped me, and maybe it can help other people. And since that day, bro, honestly, I've had so many people contact me, message me, telling me their stories, telling me like they appreciate what I'm doing and sharing, and you know, like it's almost built like a little community kind of. You know what I'm saying? It's nice, man. You feel good. You feel good about it as well because you're just helping other people. Even if it's a point where I've had people message me like they've got no one to talk to, like their family members don't know anything about it.
No one gets it.
No one gets it. Their friends don't get it. Their friends are still like kind of bantering them about certain things, or you know what I'm saying. So they just need someone to talk to. So and by all means, I'm happy to talk to these people because I've been there, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It gets deep, bro. It gets deep.
No, I mean, evidently.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, that's why I started this my naturally element page, man. Just to help people, and to document my journey.
And obviously, you feel like you're in a space where you can, one, you've effectively got the all clear, and then your processes of what actually works for you, and it also encourage others to actually do their own research and stuff like that. Because at a young age, like even now, if I was to touch wood or whatever, something to go through, like I wouldn't want to do my own research now in terms of, especially when it comes to food, for instance. I'm not a foodie, but I'm like, like I'm fortunate enough that I can eat a lot of shit in general and just kind of get away with it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you had to do that, like figure it out yourself at a young age. Because Crohn's is like another one of those ones, similar to when Denise came on and spoke about sickle cell. It's a bit unknown.
Hidden disease.
Like,
to this day, man. To this day.
So there was never a point, like speaking about to you in the past, where I felt you were ever like, say, obviously correct me if I'm wrong, but resentful to say doctors or stuff like that. Because even do we know if they've got it right? Do you know what I mean? Like, again, going back to sickle cell, like most doctors back in the day when we were growing up, because one of my cousins had it, they didn't really know about it properly. Do you know what I mean?
No, 100%.
So it's just, is there ever like times you've wanted to, or that you have, like, say, spoke to your doctors or anything about, like, say, your processes now compared to?
No, like, even to say, I'm not like bad mouthing doctors, like, because the doctors saved my life, man. I'm forever grateful for these doctors. I'm grateful for the medications that they put me on. Like, like without them, the way I was living, the way I was eating, like, shit could have got a lot flipping worse. So I'm not gonna badmouth it at all. Like, much love to the doctors and the medications that saved my life, and they saved a lot of other people's lives. But I was just at that point where I wasn't willing to rely on these medications anymore.
Right.
I just wanted to take it into my own hands and get down to the root cause, because these medications, they're not taking away the issue. I've still got
they're just suppressing the
disease. You know what I'm saying? It's like having that bottle of water that's got a hole in it. If you put a plaster on it, it's still gonna have a hole in it. It's just covering up the issue.
For a period of time.
Yeah, exactly. So, man. Yeah, it's all love to the doctors, man. Big up my doctor as well. Yeah, mad love to him, man. He saved my life, bro. Big him up. So yeah, that was that, bro.
Fair. Well, like we said, naturally aligned. Make sure you follow his Instagram page. You get me. He's my plug for my CMOS. And
CMOS, bro.
What's the other thing that about the T mix?
Yeah, so these are the things that I take all the time, man.
So like my mum's heavy into that stuff. So when my mum found out, she's like, "Oh, I'll be buying from Erin." I'm like, she'll make my dad drive to Quay shops for certain stuff. Do you know? Because they're only in like specific shops, for instance, where you'll know it's proper good or and stuff like that. And I'll be like, bloody up, bro. Like when they're going to do those shops, they buy a big bulk because
you're not going back for a while.
But touching on that, these are things that that I've noticed that have made like a positive impact in how I feel. Because even though like with Crohn's disease, you're touching on like the INT, for example, your like fatigue is like a major kind of symptom of Crohn's disease. So like your fatigue levels are just effed, energy levels are effed. So I needed something, and I was like going to the gym, and I was still like I was going really early in the morning, like 4 a.m. gym sessions.
He said he still does.
But I was taking like these like pre-workouts. I was trying to find like the best, most natural pre-workouts I could find, but they're still bullshit.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
They will contain everything.
Yeah, they still contain bullshit. Like a whole paragraph of ingredients. I've got no idea what these words mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, what is that?
And they don't say alkaline.
You know what I mean? They don't say alkaline either. But yeah, I was taking these like pre-workout shots, and I did feel good. Like it wakes you up, it gives you a little boost. But even that, I was like, you know what? Like everything else in my diet is like really good, but I'm still taking these bullshit little shots, pre-workout shots. Like I want to cut that out. So I was like, what else can I take that's natural, that will wake me up in the morning, that will get rid of this fatigue? And then I did my research, and I just found out about certain herbs, certain plants that are like really high in iron, because I was iron deficient at the time.
Like most black people.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So with these herbs, I kind of just compiled a list of all these herbs, put them together, made it into like a tea, and I'd brew it every like morning. I'd brew it every evening, and then so it's ready for me in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I was drinking it in the mornings before my gym sessions, and I noticed like it didn't give me like a mad boost like the pre-workout.
The pre-workout, yeah.
But I just noticed I'm not tired.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm getting through these gym sessions. I'm smashing them out. Like I'm lifting more than I was lifting like a couple of weeks ago. Like, so I was like, right, I might be onto something here. So yeah, naturally I just started posting it and just talking about what's helping me, and then people are just messaging me, oh, what is this? Like, can I have some? Blah blah blah. All this stuff. So I was like, hang on a minute.
Business opportunity.
There might be something here, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I just thought, okay, let me try to package it up and give it to the people. Like the people are asking for it, so let me do that. As well as like the CMOS as well. The CMOS, man, I'm telling you, that's a good one. But you like obviously like CMOS, like everyone's talking about CMOS. CMOS this, CMOS that, blah blah blah. But
mine's the best.
it's not mine. It's just you need to know where you're getting it from.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like CMOS is so readily available, like all over the world and stuff. But it's like anything. You've got the good stuff, then you've got the bad stuff.
Right.
You've got your pool growing. Like CMOS, you can grow it in a pool. Like it's just completely fake. You can grow it like what the most like readily available CMOS is like ocean farmed. So they grow it in like the ocean, like the shallow waters. But it's just farmed, isn't it? So it's just growing on ropes and stuff.
Okay.
It's still got like decent amount of like minerals and all of that stuff, but it's the real CMOS that you want is like the wild crafted CMOS that is just found naturally growing without the aid of a man, woman, or child. You know what I'm saying? That's the one that you want. That's the one that I have, and that's the one that I've found in myself. Again, I can only speak about my own experiences. I found it's benefited me a lot. You know what I'm saying? Even like in terms of like boosting my immune system. With Crohn's, my immune system is shit because it's an autoimmune disease. So I was getting ill all the time. The slightest cold would wipe me out. I'd be effed. Okay. You know what I'm saying? Since I started taking these little things, man, I'm not getting I still get sick and all these things, but just not as much. It doesn't wipe me out as it used to. To a
normal level, effectively, yeah.
Exactly.
I need to try some of the tea mix. I'm a tea man, so the tea mix.
That kind of stuff.
No, the tea's proper, man. The tea's proper. I have it all the time. I have it at least two cups of tea a day. My own tea. And I was never a tea man before that. Yeah. I never like your normal teas, your coffees or anything like that. But
I'm a herbal tea man, so that's what I'm definitely. I'm gonna try that because I need to replace my green tea with something.
No, I'm telling you, man.
No, fact, bro. When
I noticed my fatigue has just dropped, man. My energy levels have increased since I started drinking this little iron tea mix.
That's definitely what I need. That's actually.
I need to re-up because even when the first time I bought it for my mum, she do the prep the night before, innit? And then like just following day or whatever, just see like she's got specific like cylinder cups for it or whatever, everything already. So anyone could just go and grab it or when they need it and stuff like that. It's like, and usually I don't like taking things if I'm going into work. I'm just get ready and leave the house. I don't really like eating or drinking anything first thing in the morning. But that like I'd make sure that first alarm that I was snoozing, I'd -1. Do you know what I mean? I'll be like, I need an extra 5 minutes to just back this and all that stuff. Like, so no, definitely the real herbs.
No, trust me, man. Like anything, like I'm a big believer of that, man. Like you can definitely manage any condition yourself. I believe it's just knowing your body, man.
Right.
And putting the right things into your body, eliminating the shit from your body.
But it's putting the time and effort into
of
all of it.
Of course it is, man. But no,
basically, yeah.
Everybody wants the quick fix, don't they?
That's the world we're living in.
That's the world we're living in.
That's a problem.
You know.
But in terms of this in particular, it's something that's very challenging because it's like I feel like when you're learning about yourself, it's a bit more harder than learning about
somebody else.
or just something new. Like
Yeah.
if you're reading a book, for instance, and then you're learning off that. Whereas, like, it's some form of the opposite way of therapy, because it can be a bit traumatic. Thinking all this shit like, right, is this what man's going through, or like man's putting in my body, all that kind of jazz. So, and like you said, it's taking you time to actually years to actually know certain stuff in it. So it's like,
but I was like, I just got to that point where I needed to change, man. Like I was thinking about it for time. I was umming and ahhing, and I was trying it, and then I'd go back to it. But I was like, no, like my health is so flipping shit right now, and I was so petrified of going through what I had been through, being rushed to hospital, having those 2 emergency operations. I was so terrified of having to go through that again. I was like, I'm not going back into hospital, man. I'm not doing it. So I needed to change something. And being on medications alone wasn't cutting it. So yeah, man, God willing, I'm all good, man. You know what I'm saying?
If you knew, not obviously to the extent that you know, but like in terms of, say, the herbs or the terminology and everything, when you were in school, would you have prolonged, like, say, science, for instance? Because to me, this all sounds like a lot of science. Do you know what I mean? Like, science would have been your favourite subject if it weren't.
100%. The way I've, like, delved into all of this stuff is just crazy. It's crazy. Like, even my missus says I should, like, take it further and all of that stuff. But, I don't know. It's mad. But I do believe, like, if I would have, like, lived the lifestyle that I'm living now, the dietary habits I'm doing now, like, back then when I was younger, I don't believe that
you've never developed it.
I would have developed the Crohn's disease. No, I don't believe it.
You have to go through something to know
exactly.
something. Though.
Exactly.
Again, it's an unknown.
Exactly,
it's an unknown.
Even still to this day. So,
especially as a young kid, you're not gonna think, I'm just gonna eat what my friends are eating.
Exactly.
We're going to chicken shop after school.
Exactly. Yeah. And I enjoyed that chicken shop, bro. Trust me, I enjoyed eating all of that. It was a good time, man. But. Obviously, the journey that's my journey, man. So, I had to go through all of that to kind of figure out what's good for me. You know what I'm saying? And hopefully sharing my journey with others can help them. Yeah. That are going through the same things.
No, 100%. Well, you obviously just recently started your website for it as well with the products that you're selling. Yeah. So, what if you want to say the website link, etc.? Obviously, Insta page is naturally aligned, but
so my Instagram page is naturally aligned _. I've got a link to like products that you can kind of purchase, products that have helped me. If you, like, anyone wants to give it a go, they can go that is naturallyaligned.shop. But yeah, man, if anyone's going through the same thing, reach out, man. It's always better to talk, man. Yeah, 100%. That's what I've found. And obviously, like, I'm someone I've always been very, like, closed when it comes to talking or emotions or anything like that. But since opening up about it and just sharing, it's a lot easier, man. I'm telling you. And
to talk about other stuff in general.
Yeah. To talk about everything. To talk about anything, not just like Crohn's specific. Just anything. It's just good practice.
Yeah, that's true.
Definitely.
That's true. Nah, when I saw the website, I was like, shit, like, fair play. And even like just the content that you put out is taught you how to somewhat content create.
Yeah.
All the graphics and everything that. And even some still to this day, like when I saw the website the other day, and I think there was your reel before that or something, I was like, just 10 years ago, it's like, I couldn't imagine you.
I know. I get that a lot.
Something like that. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm the same. Do you know what I mean? Because I know we're all kind of similar mindset in certain things. Just our way of growing. We're just really that. Unless our friends are actually in that field in particular. Do you know? So.
Yeah. I was like that, man. But again, you just change, you adapt,
No, you do. Definitely. I mean, go push it out. Well, no, naturally aligned people, them will be getting your followers and your customers through the roof.